the weirdest thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stay Grease's talk show, where we talk about everything you guys don't want to hear about. But yeah, so today we are talking about the new Sharpen Your Skills combat, seeing what's to come in our December's patch. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna try to skip over all the filler stuff and get into it.
Are we not gonna discuss the lore?
We're gonna discuss the lore. Is there lore in here?
Lore? Yeah, there's a little bit of lore.
Oh, the lore. Okay. Should we discuss the lore?
It's not.
Wait,
very...
I don't remember if there was anything meanful in there. Was
okay,
there? Just, like,
sounds
action.
good. Sounds good. We're
sequence.
just gonna skip it. We're gonna be strictly update only stuff.
I mean, the only thing that they're doing there is they're trying to like emphasize what they're introducing in the patch.
Okay, all right. Skill cornerstone of Dauntless experience, looking for ways to push Slayer skills and creating compelling choices for players. Okay, none of that. We're excited to announce that we will be expanding your arsenal and exploring ranged combat by adding Dauntless's fifth weapon, the War Pike. This is a whole new weapon with unique attacks and an explosive ranged blast from the past. All right, so let's check out this little vid real quick.
Okay. Ooh. My volume is so loud.
All right, so we got some like Warframe-esque polearm stance in there. Let me check that out one more time. It's got some pokies.
It really does remind me of the polearm in Warframe.
Yeah, like that last part especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spinning of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty cool. And then it has that effect. That effect when you stab him, it gives you that like almost like a target or something. Sure, we will learn about that later.
I guess that's like the weakened.
That's the weakened part
of the body.
Spoiler alert for the later version of the talk show. But yeah, that's the weaker part.
Yeah. Okay, well, we don't have to talk about it now if we're.
We're gonna talk about it later, right? I'm gonna play it one more time, just for shits.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gets right in there. Yeah, so it looks pretty sweet in terms of like focusing break parts, because like those pokes, I mean I don't know how much damage they're gonna do, but those pokes are nice for like focusing those break parts. Like I can see that being useful for Charog.
Yeah.
Because Charog's vents can be an absolute bitch sometimes to hit, because he's just
yeah.
His legs are all over the place, right?
Even better, like the debuff on freaking Beaks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that debuff on Beaks and an Axe 3 charge right after. GG.
Yep.
GG.
So it really promotes it's gonna. I don't know.
It's definitely gonna promote a lot of like cooperative team playing, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
That's more than we already have. Like more than we already have. Like we already have like, okay, this guy needs a face break, so everybody just hits the face. But like now it's like more time sensitive, I guess. Whereas like he got the weakness buff in there. Now you want to get in there, get the damage as soon as you can, right?
Yeah, so like you have to fight within do good work within like a little time frame.
Exactly.
Well, and it emphasizes communication.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you can communicate with your team, the better your hunts are gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes somebody brought up, and this was a really good point, that like it would actually probably make the like sort of random groups that you're gonna get in these like patrol hunts and stuff that they're encouraging like even more difficult, because of the amount of like communication you're gonna need to be having with like everybody. Random hunts are sort of bad for communicating.
They definitely are. Definitely are. It's just kind of like beginning a fight. Like, what do you guys want? Face break, leg break. I need body break. Just all over the place, right?
So one guy's not even responding.
Yeah.
Like,
He's over there mining the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
okay,
should be
but
interesting.
You can see something actually that this weapon seems to have that maybe only the hammer is like the hammer is the only weapon that also has this sort of attack. But like as it looks like it has a sprinting attack, like you at the very start, like for engagement.
Okay.
He does
Let me
like
see this.
a jousting like.
Oh shit! I just took that in.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy shit! I didn't even
I-
see that.
I think that's a
absolutely love
sprint
that
attack.
view. Looks so
I'm gonna
cool.
turn that down just a wee bit. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't even take that in at first. To be honest with you. That's sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Shall we move a little bit past?
Yeah.
The Warpike is a precise weapon that rewards a surgical approach and tactical mastery. The Warpike's mastery attack is the forward thrust. Oh, is that like... Okay, no. That's a primary attack, sorry. This attack can be repeated several times to deliver precise damage with the Warpike's razor-sharp tip. You can press left or right during thrusting attacks to strafe sideways. Ooh, I wonder if that's going to take like almost like a dodge equivalent stamina.
Yeah.
So there's a video of it?
Yeah, I
Later?
know. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I
Yeah.
actually haven't even seen all the videos for this
Perfect.
this release.
Perfect.
So this
I'm
is gonna
glad.
be all surprises for me.
Good. So moving in tandem with your quarry without letting up on the pressure for slayers that can anticipate a behemoth's attack pattern. This means an unrelenting assault. The Warpike's second attack deals slashing damage in an area as your slash spins in it. This is one thing I was really hoping for the spear, because I didn't want it to just be a poking weapon. Like I felt like that would be like really get really boring. So I'm glad they added like some kind of like sweeping attacks to it to kind of mix it up a bit. Especially it looks
Yeah.
like wicked when you mix them up. When you'll mix them up. This is the perfect way to spread damage out across a behemoth or to use a point to pivot from as you push the attack. And it's promoting a lot of like super aggressive
right.
play styles, which I love and I think should be rewarded
Yeah.
more in this game, because it's always easy to sit back and wait for the attacks and like set it up, right?
Although like arguably like it already sort of does encourage like aggressive playstyle, just because like you end up killing the behemoth a lot faster.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can be aggressive. Like the
Mhm.
more that you're slow on killing it, the more it'll run away and then heal like
Yeah,
and extend your fight for like who knows how long
that's true.
it could be.
So we got
But
a
I
few
see what you're
models.
saying. Like like just in the mechanics of the weapon,
Yeah.
it's like specifically it like what loses like energy or something. Have you
Can't
already
say that yet.
talked about that? Is that
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. I don't want to talk too much because I know like we've already like I've already read through it, so I know like what's there, but I'm trying to save that for later. But yeah, so we got 4 weapon concepts here, which kind of worries me in thinking that we're not going to be getting it. Yeah,
Can you
come on.
guess what they are?
Well, okay, let's
Okay.
go. The first one's probably Charog, I'd assume.
Charog. I was thinking Emermain.
No, I
Okay.
I think that's Charog for sure.
I was actually going Hellion.
Really?
Going.
Oh shit, we're all over. Okay, yeah, I guess I can see. I just like because the blue. The reason I say Charog is because the blue, and if you look at the Charog armor set, it's got like blue on it. So that's the reason why I'm like saying that. And the second one's obviously
Yeah,
Nasher.
and you know what? I can see Charog too because it's got like that rounded end on it, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Charog is he's a very round guy.
He is a plump.
True.
He's a plump little plum.
Plump.
yeah, he's a plum. But yeah, then we got the Nasher one, which I like it. I mean, there's not too much you could do with Nasher teeth, but I think they did a good job there. Pangar obviously looks sick. Like you really can't mess up Pangar's weapons. They look awesome.
Now, all of Pangar's weapons look
Yeah.
great.
And Drask, I really like Drask's as well. I think they really do a good job with that one.
Oh yeah, I guess that. So like I was way off. I was like, oh yeah, so Shroud and Rezakiri, interesting concept.
What?
Well, like the purple for the Umbral, and
yeah, I
the
guess.
on
Yeah.
on the edge, like at the bottom.
But
yeah, you
that's-
guys are
Rezakiri has
totally
no
right.
claw,
You guys
like,
are totally right.
the
yeah.
spear looks
Claw, dude.
exactly like the Pangar sword, except with a long stick.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I haven't
combo.
looked at this page enough to like.
Combos
Okay.
flow naturally from this new polearm. Instead of memorizing specific combo inputs, slayers can string together primary and secondary attacks as they see fit. Combo chains are completed with powerful finishing moves once either 4 primary attacks or 2 secondary attacks have been used in a single combo, whichever comes first. This gives you the flexibility to adapt your attacks on the fly without committing to a heavy finishing move until you're certain the time is right. This is
Blast
awesome.
Knuckles, anyone?
This is
Like,
awesome. I think
seriously, Blast Knuckles?
I think, yeah, honestly, I think that's like one of the probably best news in this. Like being able to mix up the combos, not having to do like 2 primaries, 1 secondary, or whatever, mixing it or whatever like those set combos are, but being able to just like mix it up like however you see fit, right? They'll be like, oh, I want to do a little extra damage, throw in the right click, right? Something like that. I think that's a very
Yeah.
it's going to make it so much more diverse and keep it very fresh.
We were in a conversation yesterday on the Discord about like how this actual like combo system is going to work, and like if you can just keep it going like indefinitely, or if you like you just get capped after like at the
Are you
end,
talking
like
about
after you
Are you talking about the build up? Because we haven't gotten there yet.
No, about like it says here that you combo chains are completed with powerful finishing moves.
Oh yeah. So one's either 4 primary attacks or 2 second. So if you do like 3 primary attacks and then switch to 1 secondary and then go back to primaries, it'll just continue as long as you don't do 4 primary attacks in a row.
Will it continue? See,
I feel like,
it's like
I mean,
ambiguous.
that's the whole idea of fluid, right?
Yeah.
Combos flow naturally.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for. And obviously, like we don't know like the stamina values for this at all, so we can't really we don't really know exactly how long they will last for, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense that you should be able to chain them like indefinitely until you want to finish them, right? Because that's sort of how it's being sold, like this weapon. Adapt your attacks on the fly without committing to a heavy finishing move until you're certain the time is right. So it sounds like you can just hold off doing it until you're like sure that you want to do it.
Exactly.
And that fits in with the whole premise of the weapon of, hey, get up on top of the behemoth, know the behemoth's moveset really well, and stick to him the entire
time. That's I'm probably going to be playing the shit out of this weapon because I love that. That's the one thing I love about the sword is that you can just stick to the behemoths like crazy.
Yeah.
You can just like but it just doesn't do enough damage. So Axe's Bay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. So your Warpike will gather power with every strike that you land. Your weapon will capture this power and your special meter will slowly fill. The more full your meter is, the more damage you will do. Combo system? Combo counter? I think so. Slayers looking to maximize their damage will need to walk the line between aggression and caution. The meter will slowly drain if attacks aren't being landed, and it will totally empty if you take damage yourself. What makes the Warpike truly shine is that when you do, or is what you do when you choose to convert that extra power. Oh, okay. You can convert that extra power into ammo.
Yeah. This is what you were talking about with the like more aggressive like playstyle.
Yeah. Exactly. This is exactly what I was talking about. So like this is where like that really shines. Like when you're not only are you like finishing the fight faster by being aggressive, but you're also doing a ton more damage when you're being aggressive.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's almost like a Fury, or like is it Fury? Yeah.
Fury.
So Fury, you build up damage as long as you're like hitting the behemoth.
Yeah.
You do more and more damage.
So
but if you get hit with Fury, it takes away does it take away all your stacks? Is that
how it works? I haven't used Fury a whole lot, to be honest with you. But imagine Fury in this also, weapon.
I think it's closer to what are they? Final Fantasy monks, right? They have an ability where like every move or every punch. I think it's every finisher. Every like 3 moves, you get a stack of a speed increase, right? Which makes your like scales your damage. And you actually get a timer on that. You don't actually like if you take damage and stuff, it's fine, but once the timer's gone, you lose it. So it's
yeah. That's like Fury. That's like exactly like Fury. Whereas like with this one, apparently, if you take any damage at all, you totally lose all the meter that you like built up.
Yeah.
Which is like that'll be painful to lose your meter, especially if it takes a long time to fill.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure,
another thing.
like,
Well, we're gonna have to see how long it takes, right, to fill it, because this is like you're attacking really fast with this weapon. So if it's like if it's filling up per attack, right? It
Yeah.
I could see it filling up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay. And what does it say? You can choose to convert that extra power.
Yeah.
So that's interesting as well. I mean, like it'll get into that more, I think, in detail.
Yeah,
But
it's going to.
You can choose to like I guess like make like a cartridge or something
Mhm.
with that power. You lose your damage buff, but then you have like this alternate attack.
So like where I think that would like that I think is awesome, because if you're in a situation, let's say you break apart and you're just building up super crazy combo meter, you're just beating the shit out of the behemoth, and he gets off his break and hits someone, like it's an enemy like Rezakiri, where he just goes to fly a huge distance, right? You know you're not going to attack him for a little while, right? So you can just like cap that, make a round, and then just go on. So you're not totally losing it, but yeah, I think that's a great idea for so your special's never wasted, right? I think that's a good idea. All right, we're gonna check out this video really quick. Let's see what they mean by this extra power. Ew. Oh, look at those damage numbers, man. Let's check it out one more time. Holy. Okay, so that looks like it's going to be quite a bit of damage. That charged attack.
Well, yeah. Well, it's hard to say though, right?
Yeah, because we
don't
haven't
have any like
damage
way
numbers.
to compare.
Yeah.
We need numbers for
but like that spear looks like the spear in the pictures above, and if that's same spear, then that definitely looks like a borrowed spear.
Yeah, that would be like a borrowed spear. But I'm
borrowed
guessing,
war pike, I should say.
Yeah, the numbers must be like way off, because a borrowed weapon shouldn't be able to do that much damage.
But what if it
those
did?
Damage values, unless we don't know until we see like the other weapons damage values, because those damage values could be like way different than the way we think of damage values. You know?
Yeah.
We have to have a baseline to compare them against, I guess.
Exactly.
To really
Also,
what's high or not.
What's interesting here is that you can like see the way that it's sort of being aimed, like.
You can like move it around a bit, which is like I didn't think they were gonna have some kind of aiming system like that, because it'd be hard to implement, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like at the very beginning, you can see he's like aiming at the ground, and then he has to adjust it to like hit to aim it at the behemoth's face.
Yeah.
And like the power building up provides a laser sight too.
Yeah. That's interesting.
That's an attachment.
Crazy, man.
You can get a
buy the add-on from the store.
You can get an ACOG scope if you want, but that's a little extra money. All right. A Slayer's.
So what do you guys think about the damage numbers though? Like, we should probably talk. Like,
the damage numbers I think are awesome.
Yeah,
I'm kind of apathetic about it. The whole thing. Like, I don't really care if they're there or not.
I think they're awesome, but I mean, I was totally fine without damage numbers. But I like damage numbers because one, they're just like they're rewarding. You know, they're just another kind of reward for like hitting some. Because right now, I think something that Dauntless lacks is your attacks feeling rewarding. Unless you're using like an axe or a hammer, like your attacks really don't feel that rewarding. Like that's just the way it is. Like in my opinion, like when I hit something with chain blades, just like XXY, 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 and like the behemoth isn't reacting to any of this. It's just like okay, cool. This is a fucking gnat just taking chunks out of me, whatever. But and then you hit him with the axe, and like obviously breaks don't happen as often as you might like, but when you hit a 3-charge axe, like you're more likely to hit a break on a 3-charge axe than you are with a chain blade Y or a sword Y.
Yeah.
So you go through like 10 combos with the chain.
Exactly.
Blade, and
so
maybe 3 combos, or like I don't know, like a lot less
Yeah.
with the axe.
So I think that's going to be a nice feature to making the combat more rewarding for those weapons that aren't necessarily that rewarding.
I think
Yeah.
like even just for like us in the beta, it'll help us to be able to give like feedback about like balance,
Yes.
especially
Yeah,
like within a
Yeah.
too.
weapon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
But
I
I
mean,
don't-
we'll be able to. There'll be no more guessing, no more lifesteal
Oh
stuff,
my
no more
gosh,
any of
right?
that. Like we will be
Like-
able to actually calculate the DPS.
But another thing you have to
Yeah.
consider is that the amount of controversy that these damage numbers are going to bring to the Reddit. People are constantly going to be like, this doesn't do much damage.
Yeah.
This doesn't do enough damage. Like, and it's going to be like, it's going to be a good and
Yeah.
bad. Good and bad.
Yeah, but look how it is now. Now it's like you go to the forums and people are already doing that, but they're doing it without any kind of
Blind. It's just
so,
blind.
Like, I hate
yeah.
So many
it the way
people
it
are
is.
arguing that sword is the
Yeah.
best weapon in the game, or at least on par
Oh
with
my
Knight.
god.
And it's not. Like
No
they're
offense to
saying,
sword users.
You go into sword and sword can kill a behemoth faster than chain blades every time. No, it cannot. It absolutely doesn't. Like now we actually have numbers to back up what.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
probably.
yeah.
I feel like through this whole patch, they'll be tweaking the weapons.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
I
we'll
guess
see.
like the last thing to see in this like short video is like the fact that this seems to do more like element damage than physical damage, but it's almost even. It's like 750. And,
Yeah, it does give like an element,
800,
like
right?
a blue. Oh, and did you see that effect that it had too? So if you look, and you look at like Drask, he's got like kind of like dizzy spells or something, or like I don't know, some kind of.
She's just enraged, I think.
No, that's not enraged. That's not. There's like bubbles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That's got to be elemental effect. Then,
Yeah,
right?
it's got to be. Well, yeah, it's definitely not enraged Drask.
Oh, maybe that's the because this is a borrowed weapon, so it would just have basic like.
Yeah. We're just assuming it's borrowed. I mean, it's got to be either borrowed defender or sentinel, so it's going to be like there's no sign of behemoth in that weapon. But
oh my god, imagine that's like gonna be what Radiant looks like, man.
Radiant, you're definitely going to see like the rainbow beam, guaranteed.
I hope so. I hope it's so many colors.
If there isn't a rainbow beam coming out of this spear, I will consider uninstalling.
We need a rainbow beam from the axe. We need a rainbow beam on the chain blades.
Yeah.
We need a rainbow beam on everything.
Yeah. But like sure. That, like the rainbow beam should literally be an exact replica of what comes out of Rezakuri's tail.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm gonna move on here. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So Slayer's Warpike is no mere portal. Okay, we really talked about this already. Projectiles with deadly force. Players can choose to press the special button to store the power they've accrued with their attacks and convert it to ammunition. The power in each shell created is determined by how full the special meter was when the power was converted. When you're ready to let loose, hold down the special key to spin your Warpike around and ready your strike. Get your target in your sights and release the special attack key to unleash a devastating blow at range. Now, one thing to add that we didn't really talk about already is in the power in each shell. So it sounds like we're going to have some kind of magazine
yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like we'll be able to power up a multiple, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I feel like this is definitely going to be the weapon for face breaks.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because like, let's be honest, face breaks are probably the hardest.
Aim this
exactly.
Too, right? It's not
so
just like...
yeah, you want Scrave face break? Just bring the spear. Fucking hit him in the face wherever you want. You don't have to wait for him to head down.
It depends on what the damage type is, right? Because if it's not blunt, they've already said that blunt weapon types, like blunt damage, is going to be best for breaking solid pieces.
Oh,
so if the beam is actually piercing.
Oh, yeah.
So, so then it wouldn't be as good for, it won't be like a face break master, but it will be a ton of damage. And if it's piercing, theoretically, right, it would be applying a debuff.
Yeah, it would apply the debuff. So maybe it wouldn't like be good for breaking, but it's definitely good for assisting.
Yeah, let's synergize that with a hammer's full clip and an axe's Q. GG.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, I guess this is gonna be a hold down until you're ready to let it loose sort of
Yeah,
attack.
I
So
assumed like
that's
the
nice.
tap cue would be your making the
Oh,
cartridge. Tap
yeah,
cue
that
would be
makes
making the
sense.
cartridge, and holding it down would be what's it
Yeah.
called? Yeah, firing
I'm
it.
I'm gonna watch this video again just to see if this concept art actually has its place in the game already. Like the next concept art. It's just
Oh, okay, yeah. So this next concept art. What do you guys think these are? Like these don't look like
so like the hilt of the weapon
opens
has
up.
it opens up, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's where the laser beam comes from.
I'm wondering if these are actual
Interesting.
models for
Ooh.
behemoths because
The
that
the one
right
on the
one.
left or the one on the right is definitely Nezaga.
Really? I was
I
gonna
think
say
so.
Reza.
Nah, you think?
Maybe.
Kind of looks like a
It's
Reza
got the
weapon.
yellow spike though that comes from Nezaga, and the end of it where it
Mm,
opens up looks like Nezaga's snout, like a crocodile.
yeah, it could be.
Maybe.
What about the
Maybe.
left one? Like the left one bottles me too. I
It,
don't know what that is.
yeah, the left one,
Like
right?
I want to say Embermane just because the
Uh,
colors, but that I don't think that's right at all.
That might be Hellion actually.
Really?
But what about the green though? That green,
Yeah, I
man.
know. Like
That
what
might
is that
maybe that's
green?
Reza.
Maybe,
But where's the red come from if
or
that's Reza?
maybe these are from the new behemoths.
Yeah, right.
Could be the new
I was just
behemoths.
thinking that. They said that when they release a new weapon now, they want to have all the
Yeah,
models finished for it. So
I really hope because they only gave us 4
yeah, can
concepts
you
here
imagine?
or 6 concepts. I really hope they have
5.
the rest. Wait, 5.
Holy
Oh yeah, I
cow!
guess including the borrowed.
Oh no, 6 including the borrowed. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
Okay.
isn't it 7?
No, it'll be 7 including borrowed.
Oh,
I don't
where's the
know what
borrowed?
I'm thinking.
Like in
Borrowed in
those
the
top?
pictures. In the pictures. If you look like right below the 4 concept, you'll see like those 2
Yeah, yeah,
guys with
yeah.
those spears with the war pikes. All right.
But then we've got those 4 pictures, and then we've got the borrowed, and then we've got these other 2
Yeah, this
here.
would be 7.
Can we just talk about how much cooler the borrowed weapons look than every other weapon model?
Stop. I don't want to talk about that. All right. Okay, so what's next here? The Warpike is our first foray into ranged combat and perfectly complements your existing arsenal by providing a weapon with focus on accuracy and surgical strikes. It's also the first weapon to feature piercing damage, as Sharpen Your Skills also introduces a new system that will better reward coordinated combat. Know your
Yeah.
role. You guys
Okay,
ready?
wait. Before you go any further, just
Okay.
because they said it's their first foray into ranged combat, there's actually somebody who posted something that they said on Twitter the other day.
Oh yeah?
That was, what did they say?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is our first foray into ranged, but we've still got something even more dedicated to death from afar coming too. So that's what they
See,
said on
that
Twitter.
that confuses me because they said that they didn't want ranged, like they said that they weren't going to make like ranged combat. They
Yeah.
said they wanted to make things like relatively melee based with maybe like a ranged skill. So like I'm wondering how they would
Right?
implement a more dedicated ranged weapon without making it a straight out bow.
Well, to be
Right?
fair
I
though,
don't know.
the laser beam on this thing in some of the videos they show later, it actually seems to have a pretty short range, about the range of
Is
a
it
chain
short?
blade. Yeah,
Okay.
No, really?
it's not super long. Yeah, it's not super long.
Straight up looks like a sniper. All right.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but it's like it looks like it's about the range of like the dash right click on the chain blade.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
So-
I believe there's one video where he actually whiffs it on the Charog's face when it's like too far away.
Oh shit. All right.
Okay.
Let's check this out. Son of Aether, thank you for the host, my dude. Welcome for those 3 viewers. All right. So damage types. They're coming in. Sharpen your skills, bringing with the enhancements to weapons you know and love, and creating opportunities for truly memorable moments of collaboration. Each weapon will now have a default damage type, which will change the way it interacts with behemoths and behemoth parts. Before we talk about it, I just want to go into the video really quick.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was talking about with focusing that Charog part.
Yeah.
Oh, he does whiff that.
Yeah, that is whiff.
Wait, no, is it whiffed? Because the
know, right?
damage numbers aren't popping up right now. If you look at there's no
true.
damage numbers, so we can't really see if it whiffed.
Right.
I don't know.
Like,
That's hard to say.
If that one doesn't whiff, it looks like it's like at the extent of the range, right?
It definitely looked like it whiffed though. I can feel that.
So I'm pretty sure it's really not that long. Also,
on the closer one though, it doesn't leave any effect either, so it's sort of hard to tell whether the first one missed or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It seems sort of. Can you? I don't know if they'd actually put in like a whiffed attack inside of a demo.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they might, just to show you that it's not going to be like across the map.
Maybe.
But yeah, it probably hits. But how far? It doesn't look like it would go much farther than that. Like,
By
that
the
would
way,
look at about the extent of the range.
Yeah.
You also notice they demonstrate two different like attacks out of roll with this weapon. One is like a slashing attack and one's a poke. At the start, like first engagement is like a poke.
Yes, all pokes.
Well, the second time is like a slash.
Yeah, the second time slashes.
So you got your I think what they said, like the right click is going to be your slashing attacks, and then the left.
Did you see that? He pretty much dodged that tail attack with like the recoil of the spear.
Yeah, he did.
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. I like that. All right.
You noticed the Charog fireballs, right?
Yeah, I saw those. They're a little bit different now. They actually have
they changed them.
They look better rather than just these like shit fireballs.
Yeah,
oh, they actually just look like floating fireballs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Let's see.
You know, the only thing I don't like about that is I'm gonna miss the bowling ball like kind of spinning.
I like those
I want to see this. I want to see this.
They're funny.
They were funny. But this makes a lot more sense. I don't know where he was storing all that. Like, he is a chunky
Oh,
guy,
yeah. See, that looks way better. Yeah, those look way better. All right. Okay. So, blunt damage, mainly the domain of hammers, is your best bet of staggering behemoths and breaking bones and armor. The newly introduced war pikes deals piercing damage, inflicting wounds on behemoths that your fellow slayers can attack for additional damage. Slashing damage, dealt by blades, swords, chain blades, swords, or axes, is effective at severing tails and other parts. So
real quick, just to point something out before we go too far.
Yeah.
It's saying the debuff is useful for helping your fellow slayers attack, get additional damage. I'm wondering if the debuff does not apply to itself. The wording is pretty...
I don't know. I feel like it would. I feel like it's just...
I imagine it'll like apply to you yourself as well. But you're right. It actually leaves it open to like the possibility.
Of just
like friends and stuff. So who knows? But
so like that would change the playstyle a little bit, right? So instead of focusing on breaking one part, you're going to be focusing on making things weak for people.
Yeah.
Moving around a lot, like moving around the behemoth, making things weak constantly.
Yeah. That would be cool. Kind of like almost like a support, which would be pretty nice.
But I don't know, like it doesn't entirely seem like fully realistic. I don't know if I'd like it, is what I'm saying. If they did it that way. And plus, solo play would be like almost eliminated for this weapon.
Yeah,
solo
that's
play
also
is gonna
true.
Be hurt a lot in this next patch anyway. Solo play is definitely taking a hit.
Okay, but let's talk about the slash damage, because slash damage, what it seems like, is only parts that can break entirely off. So let's say, for example, you're fighting a Rezakiri. You're not going to be getting breaks with slash weapons.
That's okay. Just take along with you a friendly hammer player, and you'll be okay.
But yeah, I know that. But it's like axe, sad face.
I'm guessing they're probably still effective at cutting things like the joints in between the mandibles and stuff.
Maybe.
So you'll probably still have vulnerabilities like his arms and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
And I guess it says that they're effective, but it doesn't mean that they're like ineffective.
Yeah, I guess that's also true.
Entirely. But what's interesting about this to me is that
effective at doing it, and something else is effective at doing something else, then whatever isn't effective at it is basically ineffective at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd imagine
but
it would almost apply like the same strong and weak as we've seen so far.
Yeah. You know, though, that I'm still going to be trying to cut a tail with my hammer.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I would be disappointed if you
can
didn't.
still cut a tail with the hammer. It's not going to be like Monster Hunter, which apparently you can't cut a tail with a hammer.
Oh, really?
Well,
I mean, I guess it
yeah.
makes sense, but yeah. Let's be a
Yeah.
little bit unrealistic here. This is a video game.
Yo, squish and rip. Yeah.
But
Okay, but I guess the last thing to say here is that, like, since both hammer and, or at least blunt damage and piercing damage have like support capabilities, it seems like slashing damage is like not going to be a support weapon at all.
no, slash
anything
is going to be just
right?
like your damage phase.
Yeah, straight up. So maybe
I
there's just
like
going to be higher damage from
I
it.
like
That
the
all
fact that
depends, though. Sorry, go ahead.
I like the fact that the hammer's got your best bet for staggering, and I'm hoping that they're going to make staggering a more frequent thing with hammers rather than just like interrupts, right? Like I rather like a good like
Yeah,
face hit with a hammer, or like a couple good face hits with a hammer. Well, I like that to be like, even if it's not a long stagger, some kind of stagger, you know?
Yeah.
And it would make the hammer a lot more fun to play because every hit would be so rewarding. But yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah.
on.
We need damage numbers like to tell if the spear is just like going to be support or not, because if that slashing attack, if the spear's slashing attack is as strong as axe and chain blades and swords, or stronger than or as strong as, it eliminates the need for actually ever bringing axe or chain blade or swords, because it can take care of all the slashing and the piercing itself. Why do we need other weapons?
Well, I don't know about axe because I'm axe master race, and
Well,
but
see,
I know I see where you're coming from.
The way that I see that is that like weapons that are slashing primarily, like chain blades, axes, and swords, have like a lot more I guess like ways to use their slashing attacks than spears do, so they'll just like overall be able to like outdo a spear player in
But
slashing.
all like the damage numbers and everything, well, I'm assuming are going to be tweaked with the release of the new playstyle. Like because all these, like, they're changing so much with especially with the blunt damage, piercing damage, and slashing damage. They're changing a lot, so I'd expect like pretty much all the numbers that we've seen, or like all the I guess feelings that we've had about the weapons so far, I expect those to be different after the reset.
Yeah, probably. But it is something like that does concern me, because hybrid weapons, if you make a hybrid weapon too strong, and the specialized weapons just kind of fall to the side, because who needs to use a specialized weapon that can't do everything this thing can do?
It's true.
Well, at least the spear can't do blunt damage, and I feel good about that.
Until they come up with a spear with just a I don't know, what dildo on the end of it or something.
No, what was it? Posted in the community Discord, you put a fist on the end of it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That'd be jokes.
Oh my god.
All right, you guys ready for the next?
Yep.
All right, so we got physical damage types reward coordination and communication by creating opportunities for slayers to capitalize on openings in a behemoth's defenses. Move in on staggered beasts with impunity, remove deadly threats like lashing tails, or rally your team to inflict devastating damage to expose weak. Okay, so they're just pretty much talking about the effects of weapons, or the different damage types. I'm going to play this video really quick.
Hold on. Before you do that, go back up and look at that picture.
Oh yeah, the sheathed war pike looks pretty cool. I won't lie.
Not that. Look at where he is and what he's looking at. Look at the shop he's at, and look at the stuff on the table.
Yeah,
that looks like aether cores, right?
Yeah, and that looks like ammo for the war pike.
Yeah, and there's ammo for the war pike. Also, who's this dude he's talking to?
Mr. Borman himself.
Yeah,
Hack slash stab smash. So we know that because our weapons are changing, we're not getting a new blacksmith, which is great because Borman is Bay.
Yeah, Borman blades, please.
Borman blades, like.
Also, if you look at the wall, there's a rated sword on the wall. That's kind of cool. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like they're changing the models and opening the shop a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
really
really
cool. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right, playing this video real quick.
Okay.
Oh, I really like this dodge attack, or like the sidestep.
That has been confirmed. There is no iframes on that.
There's no iframes?
Oh, really?
Okay, that would be
No
so OP if it did have iframes.
Yeah, it would be ridiculously strong.
Like
if it had
fucking.
iframes. Also, if you watch, it doesn't use any stamina, which is fine because there's no iframes.
Where are you seeing? Where? I don't see a stamina.
Yeah, there's no stamina bar.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, no stamina.
I was mistaken.
Bar.
I'm looking.
What was
at,
that?
like,
Was that? Oh,
how
did you see that? How he reloaded or cartridged? That's super subtle.
Oh.
Check out where he cartridges. I'm gonna play it one more time.
Oh yeah, he does like a shotgun like pump on his.
Yeah, it's just like it's
staff.
very subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
He
you
just,
go.
like-
He just kind of like, yeah, he does like a pump shotgun. Like
Yeah,
a little.
right? Yeah.
I like that. I like
That's
it.
really cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
That is really cool.
All right. Slayers playing together, working with a guild, or trying to secure specific parts drops will want to factor damage types into their considerations. Hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. We're excited for how this improvement will promote communication and also reward slayers who branch out to explore different weapons. Okay, so let's talk about that little sidestep stab. Oh, stabbing.
Different
too much.
weapons.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I really like
I
that
already
sidestep
like to
stab.
use like I get a little bit bored of using only the hammer, to be completely honest.
But
like,
you are a
lot of the
hammer.
times.
You are the hammer master, and
I
Skeet
don't
can
know
vouch
about
for you.
But like I like to go into like sword anyways. Like I've got a couple of swords maxed out anyways, and I just like to switch out to it. And if slashing is something that I have to go to sometimes, then I don't mind. Like to get like a tail or something, then I don't mind switching to like sword or whatever.
Axe.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm okay.
axe.
I'll be honest. Like I hated this at first.
The dodging.
And Malloy can tell you because I was complaining to him like all day yesterday about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hated the whole like we're gonna force you into different weapons for different.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. A huge fan of it, but
like I've slept since then and chilled out a little bit, and I'm thinking about it like, okay, I looked at my weapons in game. My Rezakiri weapons are all maxed. My Shroud weapons are all maxed, and I switch them up all the time. So like the way I play is already what they're trying to encourage, and I'm just like, okay, well, I want to be a main weapon, but apparently that is not like how I do things. So maybe I shouldn't be so worried about this.
I feel like it's not horrible. I just think it's like when you're playing with that weapon, it's just gonna be like, okay, if I want to get like big breaks on this, I'm gonna go, or if I want to get like consistent breaks, I think it's gonna open up a lot more opportunity for more breaks, which makes more opportunities for like the behemoth to have like downtime, so the team can focus on whatever, right? So I feel like, I feel like there's gonna be a lot more breaks in all these fights with the different weapon styles, or like with the different damage types.
Of what good is slashing damage against things like Rezakiri?
Yeah. Well, I hope.
We need information on that. We gotta find out like if he's not weak to anything but piercing and blunt, that's gonna suck.
Because he's got a carapace, however you say that word, right?
Or
like an exoskeleton.
Yeah.
A
chitin armor.
Yep. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do something like Reza with all this.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you ready for the next?
Yep.
Math. Let the plate spin. Not sure what that means, but we'll find out. You'll spend more time swinging your weapon than anything else as you forge your legend in the Shattered Isles. It's critical that every time you hit a behemoth, it feels powerful and rewarding. We've invested heavily in improvements to hit effects, weapon feel, and audio, all of which add up to making combat feel great. Let's check out this video real quick. Like, what? That was huge. Like, is that his first hit? Like, I want to see that again. That definitely looked like a super powerful attack. Or like, it felt like... I don't just want to say
he got a break on it too. So like they used an example of where he was about to get a break anyway. So like they kind of juiced it up a little bit there.
Yeah,
so
it definitely did. But like even that initial, right? Like that initial like stab, like the effect on it, like it did look like it did look rewarding. I won't lie.
You notice at the very end when he hits the tail with the weapon, it shows a red, like it shows 120 in red
number.
rather than
yeah, because I think he's using slash damage against his tail at the end there. So the different colored values are yeah. Oh no, that wasn't slashing damage. That was a poke. That was a piercing
like a straight
damage.
up poke, right?
Yeah, that was piercing damage. So that's weird.
Maybe instead of maybe that's just telling you, hey, this is not the optimal.
Maybe maybe yellow. I think yellow is. I think yellow's like the good damage, and I don't know. That's
white
weird.
White is neutral.
White's neutral, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Right now they already have like a value system for colors and like damage level. It's like with the hammer bullets, the blue is the strongest, yellow is like medium, and red is bad.
Okay,
that's probably what that is then.
What's really interesting here is the damage numbers stay the same. But
so it makes you think that all of this is all just like it's all made up, like the numbers that are being thrown up, or the
damage, like the damage you do. That's not how break parts are determined anymore. They're determined by like a secondary health pool of like a specific damage type. Or you get a modifier based on the type you use, right?
Hold on, I need to see that again.
That's sort of mind blowing to imagine that much like complexity. But I mean, it's possible.
That's what they're showing here, though, right?
Oh,
yeah, it's true. That is what they're showing. It's curious. I don't know, right?
Yeah, that's weird. I'm not sure how that those damage
Hey, do you
numbers.
I'll be right back. Like just one sec.
Okay, for sure. I'm gonna play it one more time. I know I've played it a few times, but. Okay.
So I really think that you're gonna have a secondary pool of like damage to cut apart.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you get a modifier based on the type you use against it.
I honestly don't really know what to think of that. Or what to think of what's going on there. Because I see the neutral damage is always white.
Yeah.
But
and I don't know what the yellow damage is at the first. Why is his head being pierced like
I don't know.
Yeah, the second number is got to be the elemental. It's the first number.
Do you think it's elemental, or do you think it's because the part he's hitting is weakened? Oh, but his face isn't weakened in the beginning there, and it still shows a blue number. Oh no, it is weakened. Look at it. Oh, you can see it right in the beginning. Oh, okay, watch that. You can see it very, very closely. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it is.
He got bonus damage for it being weak.
Yeah, so I think the blue. Yeah, because when he hits his face afterwards, it doesn't show blue numbers again. So it's only in the beginning when he hits him, you see the blue numbers. So on the weakened attacks, you'll see the blue numbers for the extra damage. The white numbers are just like your default damage. No matter where you hit it, you're probably just going to see that number. Unless you're hitting like a break part that's weak to whatever damage type you're doing, I'd assume. I wish he did. I don't know. I wish he did slashing attacks on the tail so you could see some.
Hey, sorry about that.
Yeah, we don't know if the attacks on like ideal parts are gonna look different or not.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do one more time. I know I've played this way too many times, but yeah, because every time he hits him in the face after that, it doesn't show a blue number. Okay. Yeah. So we figured out the blue numbers are like the weakened damage. So if you notice in the very beginning of the video, Malloy, his face is weakened. He's got like the debuff on it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that attack has the blue number in it, and then the attacks after that on his face don't.
All right. Strange.
Yeah.
So what? It encourages you to like not. Oh my gosh.
So wait, that also means that the war pike does get its own buff.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that's good. Good to know.
Okay. These numbers are okay. So, sharpen your skills. We're introducing optional damage numbers. These numbers are on by default, but can be disabled if you prefer. This is a small but significant option that will further enhance the feeling that you're making a difference with every attack. You'll also be able to see which types of damage you're doing, so that you can see what's effective. It's a great way to get a sense of your power, and we're happy to implement a feature that our community has been requesting. So, well done, community, and getting us those damage numbers for I think is going to be much more rewarding gameplay. So well done.
Yeah.
I think this is just the conclusion. So I'm going to read this real quick and then we'll discourse. The all-new Warpike, the depth of damage types, and the satisfaction of seeing your damage numbers, it all adds up to big improvements to combat and sharpen your skills. Dauntless is a living, breathing world, and we're always working to improve what it means to be a Slayer. Your feedback is an integral part of this process, and we can't wait to hear what you think of these additions. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We'll see you next in our update when we build 2 new behemoths. Fuck yeah. Alright, so what do we think? What's our overall?
I mean, there's some definite concerns of how they could completely imbalance parties and games, but overall, I love the fact they're promoting community, communication, and grouping. Like, I think that adds like strategy to the game, whereas now it's just kind of a Zerg fest, you know?
I think that's the genre itself. It really encourages cooperative, like more cooperative than what we've already been exposed to. So I feel like this is a very good step in the right direction to making the community or making the game a more cooperative, intensive game.
Yeah. I'm curious to see a 4-hammer party, a 4-man hammer party, and just like see how often we can get those staggers. Like, like one after the other.
And it's just another challenge for us to do once we get to Rezakiri after this reset. Or whatever behemoth's going to be on top.
I wonder if it's going to be such a big benefit for people. Like if there's a slight damage buff above piercing and blunt with slashing damage, like if you're doing slightly more damage with like a slashing weapon, then is it really going to be a benefit to like bring along like a support, somebody who's got a support weapon like spear or hammer?
I would say the Warpike is gonna be a pretty good asset in a party.
In every party, that's a damage increase. Like, any damage increase is gonna be better.
Which I can see is why that's like pretty worrying for the other ones, because right now we don't really know what the other ones do. Like they say that the hammer is going to be more effective for staggering, but they haven't said like. Because right now the only staggering we've really seen is like interrupts, so like tripping and stuff like that, and break parts. But that's like those are break parts that I'm not sure if that's an actual stagger. And Rezakiri, I think, is the only one that actually has a stagger.
Yeah.
From what I can remember. But yeah, so I'm wondering, like, with this change, they're gonna have to buff. They're gonna have to make blunt damage pretty kick-ass, because I think that with the damage buff that the spear can give, the hammer is not gonna be like the because the stagger is like, and it has always been, it's like an AoE stun, right? It's a support ability, right? So like if you don't have that support ability and you don't have it like at a fairly consistent rate, that the Warpike is just gonna be a better support weapon.
Yeah, far better support. I agree. Yeah.
I hope that they give that hammer some like good stagger, because I'd love to fucking punch him in the face and then boom, he's just like down, and it's just like,
feel good.
Fuck yeah, right? It's gonna feel awesome.
That's the thing about this poke, is that it just seems like it's like another wet noodle sort of thing. Like it just like sticks a sticker on the body and says like, oh, hit this thing on the behemoth's body, but the behemoth doesn't make any reaction. He doesn't show anything on his, like, in the way that he's acting when you like, you know, pierce his body and get that, you know, debuff on him. Whereas with the stagger with the hammer, it's going to be like, visceral. Like the behemoth
Exactly.
is gonna shake and shit.
Exactly, which is going to open up for a lot of damage, right? And it's just kind of like we need that. Like Hammer needs that. Otherwise, Hammer might be irrelevant.
Yeah.
But
Hammer irrelevant. What is this?
no, never. I hope that's never the case. Well, it's
see,
always going to be good. The blunt damage is going to be good for breaks, like
yeah,
hard breaks. So that's going to be
yeah.
good regardless.
It's really interesting. They said on the Discord yesterday that they were gonna be bringing even more changes that are really like crazy to Hammer that are gonna change it all over again. So like I don't know what they're thinking of changing now.
Hold up.
I think the playstyle for Hammer is about to change drastically in the next patch. I think that they're finally getting ready to have their completed vision done for it.
Take this in. So what if the Hammer, because it said it's effective against armor.
Yeah.
So what if the Hammer breaks like armor, which creates staggers, but but breaking armor isn't necessarily considered a break part. It's just weakening armor.
So that you do more damage to the part that has broken armor, like that sort of thing.
Maybe, but I feel like that would be like, see, like if you did damage to that part more, that would be like this, like the piercing damage is like thunder,
yeah,
you know.
Be, right,
so,
yeah.
but I'm wondering if like maybe like somehow breaking the armor down is the way that it's going to be staggering. So like maybe only like each part only has, let's say, 3 stacks of armor on it, right?
Yeah,
so you can break each part 3 times, but after you break it, it's just going to be doing like regular, maybe a little bit more damage, but yeah, that part can't be staggered anymore. So maybe the Hammer is going to have to like stagger another part in order to.
The only way that makes sense though is if after you break it 3 times, like say you break a leg 3 times, he shouldn't be able to use that leg anymore. Right.
Yeah, so it's like I totally threw that in the air. I don't know if that's what it's going to be, but I'm just trying to fathom somehow making staggers reliable, making trying to make an axe or a Hammer user be like, okay, like we need a stagger right now, we need to do some damage, and so he can just do that and get that, you know.
Yeah, and like it might get a little bit old always fighting a behemoth's face, like if that's where the special place where you've got to do damage is
especially
gonna be,
because
like,
well, it's not face though, it's not just face, it's like anything solid. So like spikes or limbs.
Yeah.
But both of those are said good in the past, like, oh, you're right, horns, they said, bones.
Yeah, it's anything that doesn't break right off.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much only tails on select few behemoths.
Yeah, so really slashing is only good at cutting tails.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's what it seems like.
Like that doesn't seem
that good.
Yeah, that's curious, right? I don't know if that's like, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah,
like how.
I think that's for the most part at the end of these, at the end of our discourse, at least it's more like it always ends up being like we're just gonna have to see.
Well, it says bones and armor. They've said in the past that like head breaks are going to be the foray of like hammers, and it makes sense, I guess, because like the skull is a really bony part.
Exactly.
And like if you're hitting the brain of a behemoth, like shaking its brain by hitting it with the hammer in the head, it's going to stagger that monster. It seems like it anyways. So I imagine that hitting the head is going to be one of the places. Because you slash, it's not like you're going to decapitate a behemoth, right, with a slashing weapon.
No, but that would be awesome. So let's make that a thing. If you get a last hit on the head of a behemoth, I want to see that thing's head fly off.
Oh my god, yeah.
Or just compress into jello.
At least give it to the axe Q. If you get the final hit with an axe Q, and it's like right in the middle of his body, I want to see his body cleave into 2 pieces. That would be sick. Oh my god. I would probably never use another weapon ever again though, so maybe you shouldn't put that.
Yeah, that actually gives me an idea for like another behemoth. They could like make a behemoth that you can cut.
Yo, shut up. No. And then it's still alive?
Yeah, and another head have you seen like Dragon Ball Z where Piccolo gets like his arm like amputated by I forget who,
by
and then
Cell.
he just super concentrates in his arm, like another arm
Yeah,
shoots out of
yeah,
his body.
yeah.
And it's all slimy. Yeah, it's like that.
You went straight to like Dragon Ball Z, and I'm sitting there thinking a Hydra, right?
I was thinking of Hercules.
Yeah,
I was
like
thinking of Hercules when
Hercules
yeah,
too.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I'm all for fighting Piccolo. Let's go.
All right, what do you guys think? Is that all, folks? We take some
Is there
questions
anything
now.
else?
If we have any questions, if anybody has any questions, now would be a great time. This will be our question period.
I did post stills of the damage numbers coming out from 1, the weak point, when he hit the weak point.
Okay.
And 2, when he hit without a weak point.
Yeah.
And 3, when he hit the tail. And the interesting thing about the tail, just circling back on that, is it says 120 in red.
Yeah, and then it has a yellow number, doesn't it?
It has a yellow number of 93.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And there's no weak part on that, I don't think.
Madness.
Yes, I'm not sure what that is
I'm
all
just gonna
about.
replay this again.
Well, yeah, just because he does 120 damage with the like poke, or like across almost the entire behemoth, I sort of feel like these numbers are all going to be changed, and they haven't even like implemented the separate body part.
No, I feel like the
damages
120
yet.
is right. I feel like the 120 is right.
Why would that doesn't make sense though? Why would the tail be a different color?
I don't know why that.
And
I imagine
it has a vastly different value too. So like when he's poking everywhere else, when he gets a bonus number, it's in blue, and it's like 43 or 49. But when he hits the tail, he gets a yellow number that's 93. That's way different.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some mechanic in play there that we just don't know yet.
Yeah, maybe. Fair enough.
Oh, by the way, I guess we have an idea of how much more damage the like laser beam is gonna do, because let's say a regular poke does about 120 damage, like with this borrowed like
it would take like
spear.
6 times or 5 times damage.
Yeah, right.
It also
charge that shell was.
Yeah, that's also another
almost
factor.
like almost 7 times, like, because that's 804 and 750 together.
Yeah.
That's pretty big damage.
Well, I think.
Oh,
yeah, but how long did it take to charge that shell?
Yeah.
And how charged was the shell that they used?
It's fully charged. I hope that's a fully charged, because if it's not, then that would be
then it's
questionable.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's gonna
but I feel like they would put a max charge on there just because showing it off, right?
So. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'd say no. If we don't have any questions, we'll probably just get on to playing some more Dauntless.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hop on?
If you want.
I'll do a couple matches.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Gonna hop into our local behemoths. A little bit of an intermission. Let me know what you guys thought.